I don't really have anything to say about, I guess, what you had mentioned before.
Oh, we'll talk about that after because I think we're live. I
Oh,
think
okay.
we are live now. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the expert interview series. My name is Lisa Mizels and I'm your host today. And I'm just going to get out of Facebook so we don't hear that. There. And today I have a guest that is going to bring amazing value. I'm really excited because this is a topic that she's like an expert at. And so I'm really excited to bring her here and have her share with you just her expertise and her ability to really build relationships, build community, and create engagement. She does a fantastic job in her Facebook group. And I know that's something that like we all want to do. We all want to create that engagement. And at the beginning of the year, I was telling her it's like it kind of fell off. And she's like, I didn't see any change. So we're going to learn some really cool things today, I know. But let me just tell you a little bit about the show. The show is basically I wanted to bring you guests that could tell you a little bit about how to get a step forward in your online business. Because oftentimes we get stuck in that learning spin cycle and we get overwhelmed instead of implementing. So these little bite-sized pieces in all of the interviews are for you to just take one step forward. And if you do that, you will get an instant result. That's the whole purpose of this show. So welcome, Andrea.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, Lisa. You're so
Oh,
awesome.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really, really super excited about this. So let me just tell the audience a little bit about you. So Andrea's going to be talking about relationships are the gold key to success. Now, also, if you're watching live or watching the replay, do us a favor and let us know what questions you have as you're going through. Just go ahead and type them in. And also tell us where you're from. Where are you watching from? I love to know where people are watching from. You can also like my page, give us some hearts, some thumbs up, silly gifts, whatever you want. But we're trying to build engagement. That's what this whole segment is about. So I want to see some from you guys. Okay, so Andrea Rocco is a former insurance broker. She's a busy mom of 4 teenagers. We got to give her kudos for that, 4 teenagers. And she's dedicated to the same wonderful man for 2 decades. She's a certified personal success and life enrichment coach and the founder of Coach for Life and the curator of the Gold Key Club. This is her private community for motivated ladypreneurs. I love that. Super moms and difference makers. So today, she inspires women to create a masterpiece life based on their unique vision for ultimate success by blending time-tested strategies and solutions. And she co-creates with her clients. And I think this is really important. I do the same thing. And I think, co-creating is where the brilliance comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Following a harrowing battle with cancer that nearly stole her husband and then 13 months later, her own life, Andrea shares her passionate message, which is time is the true currency of life. And I just so love that. It's so important. It is just like, that's what we all go into business for, is to find the freedom so we can enjoy the life. And then find out that, oh my gosh, what happened? Where did this dream go? Because we're all so busy. And it doesn't have to be like that, right?
Definitely not, especially if you're kind of creating every day something based on the vision that you set out for yourself, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you got to create this magnificent community that is so engaged. It's really engaged.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that, because honestly, like I don't even really pay much attention, right? I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing with it. And it just seems to be working. So I can share my secrets if you'd like.
Yeah, let's hear them. I want to know. I'm going to actually get my notebook out.
Oh, you flatter me, Lisa. You've got an awesome group yourself. It's so engaged as well. So honestly, you flatter me, but I'm happy to be here and happy to share.
Yeah,
But what I was finding, and it kind of all started about 2 years ago. In December, it'll be that I've been building this for 2 years. And it started because I found that I was spending a lot of time on Facebook trying to build my business and, making new connections and trying to, gain clients, but I wasn't getting a lot of return on my investment at all. And so I found that to be very frustrating, and I wanted to find a way to kind of focus that time to actually make a difference. Yeah. So I was working with a business coach at the time, and I sat down and I thought, how can I better utilize my time? And I'm kind of like an anthropologist and a sociologist, so I was like, I need to use these gifts that I've never been able to utilize in what I've been doing professionally. So, I thought of, how can I add value? How can I create something truly different and special that's not already out there? And because there's thousands of groups, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I always recommend to people who are, I'm working with to try and build their communities is you kind of have to have a plan first. So sit down, figure out what the unique value is going to be, have an overarching focus. And from mine anyway, it's like life and business success. That's the overarching theme. And that ties into me as a life coach, right? Yeah. And so why would you want to build a Facebook group? And what I've found is that over time, it's really about building those relationships. It's a perfect place to put all of the people that you come into contact with, your clients, your colleagues, your affiliates, your friends. And then there's those people that you've started to kind of go down that road with, but they're not quite ready to coach with you or, to buy your services and products, but it's a great way for you to continue to cultivate that relationship. Yeah. So I've been very blessed with how it's gone so far. My group is a secret group, so it's by private invitation only. And that right there kind of sets it apart from everything else because I don't think there's a whole lot of them that are
there's
that way. Yeah. So that's worked out really well. So there's always that personal contact first. And I always start, with an invitation. And then it's about kind of creating those little micro commitments, kind of having them say yes to being included. And then, I always extend an invitation to my newsletter. I, say, just as I'm having that onboarding process happening, this is, I support this group with the newsletter. Can I add you in? May I have your email? And that kind of just begins to kind of take us down that path.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and that's so smart. I mean, that is just, and it's a natural, it's not, it's
pushy.
It's just a natural conversation, right?
Right. And it's like automatically a respect. There's respect there because the invitation was extended. And then there's, by the way, I support this group. There's like that give and take kind of, I've invited you in, you're coming in. This is kind of how we're doing things. And you're kind of leading them where you want them to go.
Yes, I love that.
It also has been really good for me because it's given me an opportunity to kind of have mini coaching opportunities, right? Because you're always in there commenting on people's posts and kind of to increase engagement. So that's made a huge difference as well.
Yes.
So my first key is culture craft. Sit down, think about what you want to kind of create, and then how you're going to go about building that and what systems you're going to put into place, like your onboarding process and factoring it all in together and connecting it all up with your business page, your personal connections, and that kind of ties into the values that you want to highlight.
Yes. And what was the name? What did you call the first step?
Culture craft.
Yes, I love that.
What are you crafting?
Yeah. Okay.
And I already touched on key number 2, which was optimize connectivity as they're coming in. Try to obtain an email address. You can get them into your newsletter list. And for me, that was a huge thing. I think I've probably more than quadrupled my newsletter list just from having my group. Yeah. And I mean, it's, as well as I do, the magic's always in the list, right? You get a chance to market to people. You're always top of mind. You can let people know about what's coming up. If you're opening up a new program, you can kind of segment your list and target with specialized offers. And that's really made a huge difference. That's actually filled my practice.
Yeah.
Because of that.
That's great. Yeah, we can come back and talk about segmenting some other time because I know you're very good at that too. Yes, yes. Okay, so we got culture craft, and then we've got
Connectivity.
optimize your connectivity.
And the other thing I like to do with that, I haven't really started it very much yet, is, have a U+2 day where it's not just about that person. They're coming in, they're meeting new people. And if you know that, a couple people will really connect well, just introduce them. And that's made a difference for members as well. I found that, they're happy to connect with new people in different circles. And then they get collaboration projects going, and I get all excited about that.
Yeah, that's exciting. I love that. Well, we've done a lot of back and forth with people in your group, people in my group, and it's fun because we have opportunities like, some people of your group have come onto this show, and
I love that.
Collaborations are awesome. Yeah.
And then I can promote it, right? I can we can post about it and congratulate people for their wins, because I find that, I don't know, I know you came from a corporate world as well. There's not a lot of positive reinforcement. So if you want to create a community that recognizes achievement and success and milestones, then you can kind of, just have a little celebration every week for those things.
I love that.
Okay, so key number 3, have to consider how you're going to grow your group. Again, what processes can you create? Are you going to have people invite people in? You could maybe have specified days where, your group will grow on these days, or it can be completely, your own invitation. But I highly recommend not friending everybody and then just adding them all in, because
no, do not do that.
Really not a good idea.
Yeah.
But I find that there's still people doing that. I get all kinds of, you've been added to this group. And
yeah, I do too. And it's disrespectful. I mean, it's really disrespectful to add people to something that they don't even know about. You don't even know them. Yeah, no.
So yeah, bad idea. For anybody listening, don't do any of that. Awesome. But you also have to understand that, I guess, a healthy group does need a steady flow of new members just to kind of keep engagement increasing. So, I mean, I look at Facebook, and to me, it's like a huge mountain of people. So if you can kind of develop a process where you're contacting in a certain way on a regular basis and inviting a certain way on a regular basis, then you can kind of create a mountain pass for yourself. And then just do that every day. And then it continues to kind of, move people through that process of first getting in, becoming familiar, getting on your newsletter list. And there's that familiarity as time goes by, and then they'll start to engage, and it's fun.
Yeah. And I think all of these are very important, and I love how you said that, it's first, you got to create the culture, what is the culture you want of your group? And then it's like, how to really connect. And you do this really well. I think people want to be seen and heard. People want to be validated for who they are, their accomplishments. And so you're just like a ninja pulling out things that people do. How do you do that?
Well, here's the thing. There is a little trick. I actually utilize, and these are like the insider secrets. I utilize Facebook's birthday option, right? You know how it says birthdays of your friends, right?
Yep.
And you really can't underestimate the power of someone's birthday. Yeah. So I actually use that tool to build my group, to recognize members in my group. And even though I have many personal contacts, I only follow the ones that have said yes to my group. So I can actually see, when they'll post about, anniversaries or milestones. And then that'll show up in my newsfeed, or I'll have people who kind of sometimes alert me to the fact that there's a book being launched or whatever. And then I'll recognize that. And so just kind of narrowing down what's showing up in your newsfeed gives you an opportunity to kind of hone in on, I mean, I'm not saying that not everybody matters, but the people that I want to focus my attention on. Yeah. And I'll get that information.
So you follow them.
I follow people who've come into my group.
And that's how you get them. Okay.
And that's how I get the goods on everybody.
I love that. Okay. That's great. Yeah, I think, with so much going on in the newsfeed, it's hard to go through it all. And So yeah, that's a great tip. I love that. Oh my gosh, this has been super, super great. And I love your branding too, because everything is related to everything else.
Right.
And and it stems from your values.
Definitely. And that is how when I first started Coach for Life, I wanted to be able to provide excellent value for my clients, which is why it's a boutique experience for everyone, right? And the same kind of values kind of transferred over to when I was designing my group. I wanted it to be, and immediately just Gold Key Club. I wanted to instill value immediately. So I wanted to pick something that would kind of bring that forward in people's minds, right? And then if you look in the components of my group, even with recognizing people, first their birthdays, and then if they, kind of would like to join Diamond Club, like it's all related to gemstones and gold and just there's these pieces that kind of fit together, but that's been an evolving thing over 2 years, right? So if you just kind of start with, your set of values that you want to stand for, and then create your branding around that, and then create your newsletter, and then create your invitations, even, because even my invitations are like, they have diamonds and gold on them. It's just something that looks a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. And it's just a way to stand out a little more. And because it's a secret group, I have that to offer as well. Like, it's a safe place, it's a place where we can share and support each other. And it's definitely not just about sales. Whereas I should say that I think that's one of my other tips I haven't gotten to. Like, certainly promotion does have a place in a group, but I really try to keep, the main wall promo free, because you have to figure that there's all different kinds of people coming into your group. And people have different tolerances for, being kind of sold to or getting kind of gotten. So if you keep that kind of separate from the main wall, then those who don't really want to see that and they're just there for inspiration and solutions, they can kind of skip over that and take what they want. It's kind of like a smorgasbord, right? They can take what they want and leave the rest.
Yeah, no, that's great. It keeps it clean. Everything's in like one thread. I like that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good.
It's important to think about what's bringing them back, right? And it ties into, having a different place to be than maybe at your work or at your job, or, where you're not getting that positive reinforcement or that recognition. So you want to look at ways to kind of keep it fun and entertaining and have something for everybody, right? So they all have an opportunity to share.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, like I said, you do such a great job and people feel so welcomed. And it's a different feeling in that group. It's like they're really connected. They're really like, I don't know. Huh?
Like real friends.
Yeah, it's like people are present. They're present in there. It's not just like another thing. It's like they're really present. And that's what I've tried to do in my group too, is like I'm all about the heart connection. It's like really feeling the connection. And the women in my group they're all like that. And so it's like you said, it's creating that culture that you want. What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, these are great tips. All right.
Yeah. I think, make it simple for them. That's important. You want to be there to kind of lead them from being, I don't know, like a stranger, like just an immediate connection, to someone who comes over to like your businesses, to extend that invitation. And then you want to begin to try and build that relationship, right? And that's something that I find makes a real difference. And you do such a great job of this too, in engaging, right? You want to make sure that you're coming into your group at least, at least a couple times a day. I'm there often. I want to make sure that, I'm welcoming new people, and I'm helping them feel like it's a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, make sure you're there, be present. At least 5 times a day would be great. And so you're posting something new, you're adding value, you're finding fun ways to increase engagement, something that's different from what they're kind of used to in other groups, because I find a lot of other groups are all about just product promotion and sales. So you want to make sure you're adding something valuable for them.
No,
you do such a great job with these interview series.
Yeah, these are really fun. I think they're valuable for me just personally, because I get to learn from everybody, but I think it's stuff that my audience definitely could benefit from. And so, yeah, this is a good perk. But no, I love these. And I love that you bring in the simplicity, but it's also classy.
Thank
Like,
you.
yeah,
That's
definitely classy. Classy, simple, but then you've got that little touch of fun, and
sparkle.
I love that. Yeah. So again, that's your culture, right? That's the culture you wanted to create. And so for those of you who have a group or who want to start a group, it's like, think about these things. What kind of culture do you want to create? How are you going to connect with them as they come in? And how are you going to grow your group? What process are you going to use to grow your group? And then think about, simple ways to build relationships and keeping people engaged and present and being in the group, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And connected too. Like you want to try and be increasing those connections and increasing those sharing opportunities. Ask questions. Like I have like a whole thread every day. I'll post an inspiring quote, and then at the end of the quote, I'll ask a question. And it's amazing just to see the responses back, because that gives other experts in the group an opportunity to weigh in and to share their expertise. And obviously, business owners love sharing their expertise, which is awesome.
Right, right. No, and that's how collaborations develop and all of that.
Yeah.
Can you give people an example of, because I know one of the questions that everybody has is, how do you monetize a Facebook group?
And that's a great question. I personally have not had to, post offers. But I mean, it's a great place to do a launch sequence, to poll the group and find out what they want to hear about. And you do a great job with that. Poll the group, find out what they want to hear about, then create something that specifically, serves that purpose. You could, and I just use my newsletter email and I segment and target so that I know that because I'm building relationships with these people, I know what offers are going to appeal to them. So I can just make a special VIP offer just for that group. And suddenly that program, that's how I've monetized everything on my group. But I know that there's lots of other people who do live trainings, who will, kind of have group trainings going on, and that's how they've monetized their group.
But I think it all goes back to building relationships.
Always.
All goes back to relationships and finding out what people want. What do they want? Because
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, I'm just going on. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you have to consider that to take someone from a stranger to investing with you is a huge, like, to expect that happens right away is unrealistic entirely. You have to kind of cultivate that relationship and that process. You have to take them from, a new contact to someone who's a warm contact, to someone you're getting to know, to someone that you can then make a informed offer to that will make a difference in their life. And maybe they may never become your client, but at least being in your group, they're getting all kinds of value from not just myself, but from all of the other experts that are there and contributing. Yeah. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly said. And I feel the same way about monetizing. It's like, I don't Facebook groups, yes, you can monetize, but it's more about
sharing.
Yeah, it's more about sharing and really being present for your people. That I kind of think of my group as like it's an incubator, or it's a container, it's a slice of my audience that I give them value. I can pull them. They can give me information, and it's a give and take, but it's a slice of my audience, and so they represent other people. And so I get a lot of I do a lot of market research. That's and I think that's really way worth what I get out of putting into the group.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally. I consider them like my best friends. Like, I hate the word, I think you even use it, tribe. I hate that word because I find it's like, I immediately think of raving people banging on drums. Just to me, my space is a lot more, I don't know, maybe I guess the word kind of subdued or classy. I don't know. It's just refined, I guess, is kind of what comes to my mind. And it's just, we're kind of there to support each other and I find encourage and it an encouraging space. So just to get that positive feedback makes a huge difference for people anyway, what I've found anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is
they're like my VIP, my VIP people.
Right.
And I love them.
Right. And I feel the same way about everybody. I mean, the people in my group I feel the same way. They're like those are like my friends, my people. I know them, I know them better than other people that I just are in groups with. But I think, what all this boils down to is connecting and building relationships and being real.
Vulnerable even sometimes. I've posted stuff in that group that I never would even share with, I guess, my closest friends. But I guess because it's a safe space, you just kind of can feel inclined to share. And the responses have been amazing. So I really appreciate the people who share their stuff.
Well, and it's like-minded people, right? So it's a different group than your friends.
A lot of my friends are in there too, but
yeah. Well, most of my friends are like not in this space. So I think now, and so I think a lot of the people, well, now I'm networking more locally, but in the past, it's been those people, those are like my friends. Those are the people that I want to hang out with because they are like-minded. And it's, yes, I'm the leader of the group, but, and I help to keep it going, but I'm just the leader. I'm just there to keep it going. I'm not like they are. That is the people in the group. That's what makes it, right?
It's that energy I think it's a synergy, right? It's the way people are just I find supportive and encouraging. And I find it really makes a difference. Like back in 2008, I used to use this site called My Life List, which was, do we have time for me to share a quick story or no?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe not. Real quick. But I used to post on this site and it was kind of a goal setting site. So it's like what you want to accomplish in your life. And then it would give you a process of, what you could do to achieve it. And I was just kind of posting for myself when suddenly someone showed up and said that my story really encouraged them and helped them pursue their own goal. And I was like, oh my gosh, like who would have known? So just people posting on other people's posts makes a huge difference for them. And I know that we can have that power, that positive effect. And that makes a big difference for me for sure.
Yeah.
As a facilitator. So don't take your role lightly. That's huge.
Yeah. Well, it is the facilitator. And I guess what I was meaning to say, I'm not very articulate today, but what I was meaning to say is that yes, you're the leader, you're the facilitator, but you're not like above the people in the group. Definitely. You are the expert, but you're not like there's other experts in there that are have as much expertise in maybe other areas than you do. So I
actually try to flip that around and kind of promote the people in my group, showcase their expertise.
Right.
In fact, that's kind of a premise in my group, to try and get people to share their expertise and share their knowledge. So, and shine the light on that.
Yeah. And you do an amazing job at that. Yeah, this is great. This has been so great. These tips are amazing. So all of you who are listening, whether you're watching now or watching the replay, if you have questions for Andrea, post them in the comments, and she'll get tagged, I'll get tagged, and we'll make sure to get back to you on your questions. But this has been great, and these are amazing tips. And so, don't take this. This is juicy, special insider secrets that she's sharing here. So
it's the group gold.
Yes. And so take these tips and implement them, because once you do, you'll see a difference. You'll see a difference in engagement. And there's even some things that I picked up in here. So I'm going to try some different things too. And thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Happy goodness. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And so I just want to say thank you very much, Andrea, for being here and for sharing your insider secrets with us. This has been really super helpful. And I know that the audience is going to gain some great information from this. Great tips.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm honored to have you here. So no, it's great. And so thank you listeners for and viewers for watching, and I just post your comments. Let us know what you think. If you have any feedback, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you want another topic, let us know. Let us know where you're at. Let's build engagement. All right. We'll see you guys next week. I'll talk to you later. You stay on, and I'm going to stop the live stream.